table and ANOVA table. They tend to be the most important one for regression. So moving forward. So now you have to write the fitted equation. This is when the fitted equation essentially means that you're just adding the intercept and the slope to the formula now that you got from the coefficients table. These numbers, you have to add into the formula now. So essentially that's what I did here. This formula over here, album sales. Something to keep in mind, and please write this down because many students get it wrong. For the fitted equation, you need to write down the hat. I don't know how to put it on the top, so I put it to the side. But for the homework, when you're expected to write the fitted equation formula, the predictor equation formula, write the hat. Otherwise, you're gonna get points off. This is how we know that this is the fitted equation formula. And then you write the intercept value, 134, the slope value, 0.096. And remember, I got this from the coefficients table. And then don't forget to write times advertising budget. And what else is different in this formula? Well, remember that for the regression formula, the original formula, there's an error term. Once we do the fitted equation, the error term goes away. So these are two things to keep in mind. Add the hat on the fitted equation. Do not write the error on the fitted equation. Just two basic rules that a lot of students forget and get points off. The error only stays on the original formula before you have added the values. And now you have to explain, what does this formula mean? Album sales hat equals 134 plus 0.096 advertising budget. What does that mean? Can you explain it in the context of the research questions? And I will remember units from slide 10, because as you explain it, you need to write down the units, otherwise you get points off. And I bolded the keywords. For every keyword you're missing, you're likely gonna get points off on the test. So essentially, you have to explain it. The number of albums sold, which is all dependent variable, by Seco Music Records the first week after the release, and this information is from the research question that I showed you earlier, is expected to increase. How do I know it's increasing? Because this is the slope and it's a positive sign. If there was a negative sign on the slope, it would be decreasing. So the number of albums sold by Seco Music Records is expected to increase on average. Remember, always write on average. So many students forget that keyword and they get points off. By 0.96, which I got from the slope. And then this is the unit, 1,000 cells. Every time you forget the unit, you're gonna get points off. I remember that the units were from slide 10. So that's where they are, if you wanted to quickly check. And then the number of albums sold is expected to increase on average by 0.96,000 cells for each additional thousands of dollars. So this is the unit for the advertising budget, which is the predictor variable. So essentially you have here the dependent variable, you have the direction, the average, you have the unit for the dependent variable, you have the unit for the independent variable, and then advertisement budget is the independent variable, which I should have bolded. These are keywords. Essentially, every time you explain something, you need to add it into the context. Otherwise, you're gonna get points off. A lot of students write X can predict Y by this number. If you write X and Y, you're gonna get points off. So just keep this in mind. So remember how this intercept beta 0 value is at 134.140 that we didn't use in this explanation. So what does it mean? Essentially, it's saying that in conceptually, what it means is that if the advertising budget was 0 and you write the unit, the number of album sales, which is a dependent variable, is expected to increase because it's a positive sign for the beta 0 on average by 134.140 thousand cells. As Stephanie said in class, typically the beta 0 doesn't make any sense. Mathematically, there's a formula behind why it has to be there, but for the most part, it doesn't make sense. She typically doesn't focus on it too much, but if you're ever asked, what does the intercept of 134 beta 0 means, you should know that it just means that the independent variable is 0. If